Guys, I'm Fandom UK. So sorry, apologies, a bit late today, just getting set up and everything. I hope you guys are okay. The game has actually started, so I'm, like I said, a minute too late. We've got a penalty for Newcastle, and they've put it away. So we already got a goal in the game. If you guys just joining us, be great if you could hit that like button and drop your comments in the chat. Be great to hear from you. Um, obviously, the return of the Premier League today, so lots of football going on. Now we've got club football fully back fully. Um, so yeah, should be an interesting afternoon of football. Lots of games going on around the UK and obviously around Europe as well. But we are focused on what's going on in the UK. So we will keep an eye on the other results for you guys and let you know what is going on in the other games around the UK. So the game's restarted. 3 minutes in, guys, and long ball forward for Leicester. Should be interesting one. This I picked this game today. Quite interested to see how both of these two clubs do. Um, Obviously, for you guys that are well aware, Newcastle doing really well this season on the up. Leicester not doing as good as we've known them to do, but still a very competitive team that you obviously you can never write off in any game. They're always competitive, so I expect this is going to be a pretty interesting game. Newcastle on the attack now down this near side, and they're on the edge of the Leicester box. Opportunity comes in, but it's blocked by Leicester defenders and out for a corner. So yeah, like I said, guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments in the chat. Be great to hear from you. Like I say, we will keep you updated with what's going on around the grounds as well in the UK. Loads and loads of games today to keep an eye on. So we're just waiting for the corner to come in, guys. It's coming. The corner's from the far side of the pitch. Corner comes in, and it's quite direct. Got right at the back towards the back post, but goes past everybody, and Newcastle pick it up and look to move the ball just on the edge, and another ball cross forward has just gone over everybody, and it's gone out for a goal kick. So yeah, not much to say early on, apart from obviously with regards to the penalty for Newcastle. So yeah, guys, be great to hear from you if you are just joining us. Been interesting to watch both these teams. Obviously, a lot being said about Newcastle at the minute. They're playing absolutely out of their skin. To be honest, they're surprising quite a lot of people with their performances. Eddie Howe's been doing quite a pretty impressive job up there. He's turned things around. He's got the team playing like a team. Obviously, Newcastle have made a few signings since Eddie Howe have come in, so that has made some impact on the team. But how many managers? If you've been watching football as long as I have, guys, you would have seen a lot of managers come and go at Newcastle, um, and it's kind of been one of those clubs that's been a bit of a yo-yo club um, for a number of years um, with managers. So we got second goal for Newcastle, guys. Second goal for Newcastle. They're definitely on the ball today with two early goals. 6 minutes, just coming on 7 minutes, guys, and they've scored their second. It was a ball down the wing, down the far side, and brought back inside with a 1-2 from It's a really good goal, that really good team goal. Yeah. So 1-2 from. I'm trying to see the player that's just basically the player that's come from the outside, come in, done a 1-2 touch with another Newcastle player, and then run onto the ball himself and slotted it home. And it's really, really good goal for Newcastle. They're playing. They're quite. On the few occasions I have seen them, they're playing really impressive. Newcastle. Um, it's like a completely new team with a new lease of life compared to obviously if you were watching football as long as me guys, you'll have seen Newcastle have been massively underachieving for a number of years. So it is actually quite good to see that they're doing really well, and and that Eddie Howe is getting getting the best out of the players. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Stevie, Stephen Allen, hi guys, Merry Christmas. How's it going, Stevie? Thanks, mate. Good to hear from you. Merry Christmas to you as well. I hope everything with you is good. Appreciate all the hard work you do behind the scenes, mate. Thank you very much. Well, Stevie Allen, whoa, two already. Yeah. As we know, mate, that's how it can go in football. You can have a long drawn out game where it's not much between the two teams, and then you can have a quick fire start from one particular team, and that's what we've got today from Newcastle. Is a bit of a surprise, really, in some respects. Obviously, with Newcastle being the away team, so you wouldn't expect a new away team to come dominating so rapidly. But as we see, Leicester are not having the success that they've had in recent seasons. They are struggling a bit this season compared to uh, what they normally what should I say? What's their normal standard? Um, but as I said. As I said earlier, guys, with Leicester, one thing you are almost guaranteed every time they play is they'll try to be competitive. They might not always be very successful with it, but they do try to be competitive. But the concern from the Leicester point of view is the fact that if they continue to struggle like this, it's going to put Brendan Rodgers under a lot of pressure, and soon enough, there'll be calls for him to get the sack, as we've seen on many occasions previously with other clubs that have struggled. Um, so, yeah, to be fair, guys, I do think Brendan Rodgers is a good manager, but I also think he's had a lot of quite a considerable bit of luck with with the clubs that he's managed. Um, you know, let's be honest, he's managed at Celtic. It's not a hard club to manage, Celtic. It's not a hard club to manage at all. Um, in respect of, I'm not saying it's not a difficult club at all to remember, but when it comes to the fixtures that they play, you, I know the Scottish fans will argue and say there is pressure up there. Yes, there is pressure, but let's be honest. Um, for a club like Celtic, the opposition in Scotland, the majority of the opposition are weak opposition. So you've got to be a really, really bad manager to go up to Scotland and manage either Glasgow or Celtic, Rangers. Sorry, Glasgow Rangers or Celtic, and not be able to pick up results. So for me, I know a lot of people rate him for what he did up there, but for me, I don't think it's the toughest league. I don't think you can really. Shout too much about what success people have under up there, unless it's young managers like Steven Gerrard. You can give him some credit because he's obviously brand new to management. And as we saw with Brendan Rodgers when he was at Liverpool, he did, he had his ups and downs there. Yes, he got some good results. Yes, he got Liverpool competing, but he never quite seemed to quite have that just enough to motivate the players to just get it over the line. So I don't know about you guys, but I think I think Brendan Rodgers' days at Leicester are limited. To be honest, I think it's only a matter of time before he gets the sack and we see somebody else come in. But we'll have to see. Hopefully he turns things round and starts picking up some positive results for Leicester because uh, he is a good manager. There's no question about that. It's just the question is he a great manager? That's the debate that we can have on a regular occasion. To be fair, guys. Just to bring you back to the game, guys, we've got a stoppage here for a foul. Um, I'm not sure if the referee's going to give anything for this. It might just be he's just stopped the game to give the player time to get up and recover. Yeah, it's just two players coming together. There was no malice in it. One Newcastle player's gone to head the ball. On running Leicester player has basically collided with him, and I think he's just got winded in the chest, or hopefully it's nothing serious, because he's holding his chest at the minute. So that would um, well, he's actually holding his ribs, so that would indicate that he might have clattered into his ribs. Let's hope it's not serious and he's not broke a rib or something. But just where the medical staff are examining him, would suggest that he may have hurt his ribs. So we'll have to see what happens in the next few minutes. So, guys, as just to let you know, Leicester, if you didn't know, Leicester sitting in 13th at the minute in the league. Newcastle sitting in second in the league. If the result stays like this, um, obviously other teams to play yet, but Newcastle, as you can see, doing really really well and have come back with the intention of picking up where they left off by the starts of how they played this game. So just give you an update, guys, what's going on around the grounds. Obviously, in the Premier League, in the earlier kickoff, it finished Brentford 2, Tottenham 2. That's a really good result for Brentford. The 3 o'clock kickoffs is currently Crystal Palace nil, Fulham nil, Everton 1, Wolverhampton nil. Obviously, the game we're watching now is 2-0 to Newcastle. Southampton nil, Brighton nil. You got later time kickoff, which is Aston Villa v Liverpool and Arsenal v West Ham. Also in the Championship, guys, it finished earlier. Watford nil, Millwall 2, Sunderland 2, Blackburn Rovers 1. And the 3 o'clock kickoffs is Bristol City nil, West Bromwich Albion 1, Hull City nil, Blackpool nil, Middlesbrough nil, Wigan Athletic nil, Preston North End nil, Huddersfield Town nil, Rotherham United nil, Stoke City nil, Sheffield United nil, and Coventry City nil. And there's two later kickoffs in the Championship. One at 5:15, which is Cardiff City v QPR, and another one at 8:15, which is Luton Town v Norwich City. The game has restarted, guys. I don't uh, think anything serious wrong with the player. He was just getting some attention, some medical attention. But yeah, the game has restarted, and Newcastle definitely with the momentum early in the early stages of this game, guys. but um, but we have a corner for Leicester. First corner of the game for Leicester, actually. So we'll see how they get on with this. See if they can make it count. Obviously, they need to with being early two goals behind so early on. We'll come to the other score results shortly, guys. So yeah, looks like the player's been substitution. Or I'm just trying to work out. Yeah, I think the player's been substituted. So hopefully that's nothing too serious. Hopefully he recovers from that. Corner comes in from the far side, right into the bulk of the players, and it's now out on this near side. Cross comes in and it's blocked off by a Newcastle defender, and it's gone out on this near side for another corner. So just come to comments in a second, guys. We just got this next corner for Leicester. Corner comes in. It's an out swinger, in swinger. I always get confused with them two. It's gone past all the bodies, and now Newcastle to look into it. Leicester on the counter attack. The ball up the field quite quickly, but Leicester managed to pick it up in defence and pass it back to their keeper under pressure. But yeah, Newcastle definitely looking like they're really up for this one with their early attempts, and they're chasing the ball down from the front, pressing from the front, should I say. So they're definitely showing their intention in this game. But Leicester trying a fight to get into the game, to get some out of it. Obviously, as you would expect, being the home team, but early doors yet. So they're struggling to get any kind of momentum with the pace that Newcastle are setting, basically. Joey, how's it going, mate? Merry Christmas. How's it going? Good to see you, mate. Hope you've had a good Christmas day and not too much stress with the shopping and stuff leading up to it. It's good to see you, mate. All the best for the festive period. Obviously, a big game for Liverpool this afternoon against Aston Villa. What's your thoughts on that game, mate? So Leicester in possession, midway inside the Newcastle half, and they've just kicked it out for a throw-in. But I'm not sure if it's gone out, if the referee's given a throw-in here or a corner, sorry, a throw-in or a foul. Just in, yeah, I think, yeah, the referee's given a foul. There was a foul or a slight incident just before the ball rolled out. For the throw-in, but the referee's given it for the foul, not for the throw-in. So Leicester with a free kick in a good position to swing it in, maybe get a header on the end of this. So, oh, it's a short cross. I don't know what he was thinking there because the player had the cross from this near side right on the edge of the pitch, literally near the throwing line, and he's kind of at an angle and he's passed the ball forward, but he's obviously not communicated what he's planning to do with his teammates because none of his teammates ran onto it, and it was actually a Newcastle player that ran onto it. So really wasted opportunity for Leicester from that perspective. But yeah, I don't why he did that because it was pretty evident from the fact that no other Leicester player moved, that no other Leicester player was expecting him to do that. So I don't understand why he'd do something like that so early on in the game. Surely you should be sticking to tactics that you've prepared for in training. So yeah, a bit of a strange one, that one. Excuse me, guys. Joey saying, "Merry Christmas, mate. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Good to hear, mate. Glad you're having had a good day yesterday, and obviously, like I say, not too much stress with the build up to it because that's always the one thing that drives me nuts leading up to Christmas. Very stressful getting prepared for it. I always prefer to get it done early if there's time, but obviously, not every year is kind to us to give us the time, is it, to prepare for it, so that you can enjoy the lead up to it, so to speak. But yeah, good to hear that you've had a good day yesterday, mate, and hopefully enjoy the rest of the Christmas week. And let's see, thoughts on Newcastle. Would win, but didn't think it would be 2-0 already. Yeah, well, like I say, mate, I think they've come out. They've shown. Oh, we got. Sorry, Joey, just a minute, mate. We had Leicester running onto the ball and with a goal scoring opportunity, and the keeper came out at the same time, and it kind of rebounded off the attacking player for Leicester. I wasn't too sure then if the referee were going to pull that back for a potential penalty. But it looks to have gone out on the far side, and he's definitely not offside. So as he's gone to get his foot to the ball, it's kind of hit the goalkeeper at the same time and rebounded back off the goalkeeper and up uh, into the midsection of the on-running Leicester player. So it looked like it could have like bounced off his shoulder or his arm at the same time because it happened that quick. But no, it looks like it's gone. It's gone out for a throw-in. No, sorry, no, sorry, it's a goal kick. It's gone out for a goal kick. My apologies, guys. It's gone out for a goal kick. It went out on that far side, but it was hard to see with the fact that they were playing the replay where exactly it had gone out. So Leicester in possession now, and the long ball up the field. They're now in possession midway inside Newcastle's half. And now crossed out to this near side, but Newcastle defenders pick up the ball, but only managing to clear it slightly. Leicester picking it up again. Joey is saying oh right, sorry, yeah, thought Newcastle would win, but didn't think it would be 2-0 already. Yeah, well, like I said, Joey, Newcastle has started this game at an amazing pace. To be honest, um, I'm actually struggling to watch to believe this is Newcastle. I've been wanting to watch Newcastle a bit this season, obviously seeing how well they're doing. And I'm sure you're aware, Joey, that as most of you guys are that have watched Newcastle in, this is not like watching Newcastle. I'm not used to seeing Newcastle play so attack minded. They're normally especially away from home. If you've watched them before, obviously the takeover and the investment, they used to be very much a backs to the wall type team when they played away from home. It was kind of it used to be always get the impression with Newcastle previously. It wasn't whether they was going to lose; it was when they was whether they was going to concede. It was a matter of when they're going to concede. But this is, like I say, this is quite surprising to see this because I've only seen the odd game with Newcastle playing well away from home. Is the point that I'm trying to make? So it's quite unusual to see Newcastle playing so attack minded away from home because, like I say, if you've watched them in previous years before, obviously the investment and the new owners, that they always were a very defensive minded team, and that was probably a big part of that was probably because of the lack of talent within the team and the confidence and stuff like that. But like I say, um, it's been some crazy turnaround under Eddie Howe, and he's really got them firing on all cylinders. He's got them believing in their own abilities, and they look like a completely different team to what we're used to seeing in black and white. So yeah, um, it's strange to see, but yeah, thanks for that, Joey. If you're still there, mate, let me know your thoughts on this afternoon's game. Obviously, Liverpool playing Villa this afternoon. I know you're a big Liverpool fan, mate, so I'd love to know your thoughts on that game. I'm sure you're looking forward to that one and hoping that Liverpool get back to winning ways. So yeah, let us know, mate, your thoughts on that. Um, Stevie saying, "Hi, Joey, Merry Christmas." Absolutely nice one, Stevie. Thanks for that, mate. Um, and Joey replying, "Merry Christmas, top, you guys. Always great to see you guys getting along in the chat. Love that." Um, Joey saying, "Think Eddie, think Eddie doing a great job." Absolutely, mate. Yeah, we've got to give him massive respect for what he's achieved in such a small space of time at Newcastle. He really is an up and coming manager, isn't he? A lot of people were talking about him before he went to Newcastle and saying that how impressive he'd been previously. But I think really now, since he's been at Newcastle and what we've seen from him in the short period, he really is showing that he's very, very tactically aware and he knows how to set up a team and he's he must be a good man manager as well because it's not easy to get to get an entire squad on side and get them playing to their best, or should I say, getting the best out of an entire team. So we have to give him massive respect for that. We have to give him massive respect for the fact that he's been able to go up there and motivate those a team that every other manager. Let's be honest, guys. Every other manager seems to have really struggled to get any kind of momentum going with Newcastle, no matter what players they've had available to them. We've seen a lot of managers go up there and really struggle to get the best out of the players Newcastle have had within their squad. Obviously, he's had some investment, so that's really helped. A lot of other managers, but to be fair, over the years, a lot of other Newcastle managers have had investment. Maybe not with the same scale, but they have had invest back in from previous owners and stuff. Um, so it's not like other managers haven't been given the support to a certain extent. Yeah, maybe a bit more limited, but they have been given the support. But like I say, it's impressive what he's doing up there. We have to give him massive credit for that. And well said, Joey. Totally agree with that, mate. Rich Bowl Sports season. How's it going, mate? Great to see you. Season's greetings, Van Den. How's how's Bruno Ramirez doing? What did you make of Brazil? Um, right. So you talking about the World Cup. Um, yeah. To be fair, mate, I wasn't surprised with Brazil getting knocked out of the competition. To be fair, I thought they've got some amazing players. But the problem is when you've got players like Neymar and stuff like that, you're always going to struggle to win a tournament. You need a team to win it. Which to win a World Cup, you need a team togetherness. I mean, look at Argentina. As much as I'm critical, or I've got a bit of criticism to how they won the World Cup because I think that they definitely got a bit of luck as far as the refereeing decisions were concerned. Fair play to them. They won it. They won it. They deserve to win it. I don't want to take anything away from them, but there's big questions around that World Cup. You only have to go and see some of the media that's floating about it. We've got question marks being asked about the refereeing. We've had an admission by the FIFA admitting that they picked the referee for the England-France game based on not being happy with England complaining. What kind of stuff is that from a professional organisation? There's big question marks about the official for the final for France v Argentina. That he might have been biased. So the World Cup is an absolute farce as far as I'm concerned. You can't have um, you can't have confidence in a competition where you've got no confidence in the people that are running the competition. And let's be honest, the confidence with regards towards FIFA has been shattered by themselves and their conduct and how they've managed the competition and all the questionable stuff that they're involved in. Go do the research, mate. But yeah, as far as your question with regards to Brazil is concerned, I think they played well at times, but I thought when they played Korea. Was it Korea they played? Oh, another another goal here for Newcastle, guys. Corner comes in and it's headed straight in within reach of the goalkeeper, but the goalkeeper unable to save it. And it's a third goal for Newcastle, and it's Joelinton who's headed it home. It's a really good header that came in from the corner. And it fell perfectly for him, and he's been able to literally just get his head on it, not under too much pressure from Leicester's defenders. And like I say, it's almost right at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper not been able to kind of adjust his angle to get to make the save. So yeah, really, really good third goal for Newcastle. What is going on with Leicester? Big question marks with Leicester, with them being at home and not, basically, being outplayed and outfought here and basically Newcastle are in the front here by applying pressure and making the best of every opportunity that's come their way with set pieces when they've been in possession. and Leicester doing the complete opposite. They're not making the best of the few opportunities they've had. Um, and they're really struggling in this one, to be fair. So yeah, I'll come back to the game in a minute. Just want to quickly get back to what Rich Pro Sports was asking. So yeah, for me, with regards to Brazil, mate, they did play reasonably well, but I wasn't expecting them to do brilliant things because, like I say, mate, they didn't. They've got too many individuals. They've got a few individuals in that team that upset the balance. I mean, them that that you don't always get the best out of the rest of the team because there's an imbalance in the team. That they have the potential to win a World Cup. They have the potential to win a World Cup, but for me, like I say, you need a team. And the point I was going to make earlier with regards to Argentina, we all know what a big player Messi is. We all know that when he's on the pitch for Argentina, that's all people see is just him. But to be fair, he was reasonably humble, and he recognised that he was part of a team and he needed his teammates with him and to help. And yes, they might have not been on the score sheet as much as him, but it was a team effort that got him to that final and got him over the line. And he recognised that he needed his teammates if they were going to have some success. And he did what he could. He tried to obviously be the shining light when it was needed, but he also played as part of a team, and that is why they got the success they have. When you look at Brazil, I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see the likes of Neymar making that kind of sacrifice where he's prepared to sacrifice himself for the best interest of the team, and that can create the problems within the squad. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. But like I said, we're trying to get back focused on league football now and kind of get away from the World Cup a bit now because we've done a lot of talking about that over the last few weeks and months. Rico Sport question: World Cup every 2 years or Winter World Cup? Fanden, does the Premier League seem reinvigorated because of the break from a fan's view? Well, it's hard to say whether the Premier League is reinvigorated, mate, because this is the first day of the Premier League returning. So we'll have to obviously see over the next week or two how teams come back, how they play, how the results go, and that I suppose that would answer that part of your question, mate. With regards to the World Cup every 2 years, no, no, absolutely not. No, we need, as I've just said, we need new people running the World Cup. If you look online, mate, there's a boycott. There's a boycott going on for FIFA. There's people signing a petition to get FIFA out because look at some of the stuff that's coming out of the World Cup. Pictures of like the German team, national team, taking photographs covering their mouth, implying that they've been silenced by FIFA. People. Did you know that FIFA also in breach of contract as well for their agreement with Budweiser? Qatar have messed up that. Qatar was supposed to allow Budweiser to be sold at the tournament because Budweiser is a sponsor of FIFA, and Qatar refused to allow Budweiser beer to be sold in Qatar, apart from the alcohol-free version of it. So at the minute, FIFA is facing a legal battle over that because of Qatar, as well as, like I say, loads of other things. Go and look at it, mate. It's all there on Google. There's some of the headlines that's come out since the World Cup's ending. It's quite shocking to say that this is the world governing football body and they're involved in so many questionable decisions. And like I say, I think they'll be dealing with some of the backlash of the Qatar World Cup for the next season or two. So no, for me, mate, no World Cup every 2 years, no, the Winter World Cup, no, it should be played in summer, mate. For me, you'd only see to answer that question. You only have to look at the fact that so many of the top teams that we expect to get to the knockout stages just didn't. And why didn't they? They could easily use the excuse of lack of preparation time because apart from teams that weren't involved in club football heavily, there was only a handful of teams that got any preparation before the World Cup, mate. So So no, for me, definitely not Winter World Cup. As for the 2 year thing, right now, no, no, right now, no. But if we see reforms within FIFA, then maybe it be worth considering further down the line. I'm not sure, but right now, no. I think there's more important things to sort out, and that is how fo- the FIFA are running the football on behalf of the world of football. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Um, Joey is saying, "Yeah, mate, wishing for a win. Absolutely, mate. I'm presuming talking about Liverpool there. Obviously, Liverpool playing Aston Villa later today. It's an away game as well for Liverpool, so that isn't going to be um, a straightforward result for Liverpool, and I'm sure Aston Villa will put up a fight for that one. Come on." Oh, that's strange. Sorry, guys. So Leicester in possession at the minute, on the halfway line. Newcastle definitely look very well organised at the minute in the way they're approaching the game. They're sitting in when they're out of possession, and they're literally like what you might like say like a coiled spring, waiting to pounce as soon as Leicester lose the ball. Leicester really struggling to get anything going in Newcastle's half. Every time they're trying to get forward, Newcastle are pressuring them. Um, Tackling them at the first opportunity, really making life difficult for Leicester. So it's going to be difficult for Leicester to get anything out of this. For me, I think they're really going to struggle. Um, Obviously, as we know, guys, halftime can make a big difference um, if they get a good team talk. You never know; they could come out and turn it around. We've seen it before. It's not impossible, but for me, I would say it's definitely looking like it'd take a bit of it'd take a bit of a special team talk to get Leicester firing on all cylinders enough to turn this result around. Because, like I say, at the minute, um, Newcastle definitely look confident and the more superior team, which is not something we'd say very often in the past, is it, guys? Uh, and like I said, for me, Leicester quite shocking at the minute how much they're struggling. Um, Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button. It'd be very much appreciated. We are reasonably new channel to YouTube. Still got a lot of work to get known within the football fan community. So any support you guys give, just hitting that like button. It doesn't cost nothing, but it does help us get at least a bit more visibility from other fans. So that would be appreciated if you could, guys. And drop your comments in the chat. It'd be great to hear from you. Joey's saying we looked lively in the Man City game, but defo a bit leaky in defence. Keepers fingers crossed. Yeah, mate. Well, I think that to be fair, the Man City game was a little bit of a free run, if you like, because you got to think you guys, not just you guys, but a lot of Premier League teams not been playing competitive matches the last couple of weeks. So considering you're playing, Man City, arguably one of the best teams in the league, alongside yourselves, you know, you scored goals. All right. Your defense a little bit shaky, but you played away from home. You competed against Man City, and for me, I think for the first game back, it wasn't too bad. Yes, room for improvement, but you'd expect that when you're playing away from home, because maybe I think if that had been at Anfield, it might have been the other way around, mate. It might have been you guys coming out on top, and that's how tight that game was. So yeah, for me, I understand what you're saying, Joey. A little bit concerning with the defense, but I wouldn't be too concerned just yet. Um, I'm sure Klopp will use his football knowledge to remind the players, look, you just went and competed with arguably one of the best teams in the league, first game back, and you scored 2 goals, and you competed, and if it had, like I say, it had been at Anfield, it could have been the other way around. So yeah, there's not. I wouldn't read too much into that result, mate. I think it's the next few games that are most important now. How can Liverpool get their momentum going and get points on the board and get back to winning ways in the way we know Liverpool can. So yeah, Newcastle in possession, but we're having a stoppage now on the far side for a foul on a Leicester player. Um, but it's taken. The free kick's taken quickly. Leicester now in possession on the halfway line, probing Newcastle for gaps. But as soon as they get forward, Newcastle putting them under pressure. They've just, I'm not sure the stoppage here for something. I'm not sure if it's slightly gone out and for a throw in or if it's a foul. Just bear with me a second, guys. I'll come back to your comments in a minute, guys. Yeah, it's a throw in. It's because it was on that far side, and there were two players together, so I weren't sure if the referee had blown it for a mistimed tackle or a throwing, but no, it's a throwing. So So Leicester in possession, midway inside their own half. Ball forward up to the halfway line, but they lose it straight away to Newcastle. This is what I'm on about, guys. Newcastle, they're like a coiled spring, literally waiting to pounce. As soon as Leicester look to move the ball forward, they're losing it so quickly to Newcastle, or it's going out for throw-ins and stuff like that, because Newcastle are literally waiting to pounce as soon as Leicester try to move the ball forward. So now Leicester pick up the pieces from a long ball up the field in possession, midway inside Newcastle's half. Now Leicester switch the ball out to this near side, but a Newcastle defender kicks it out and it's out for a throw-in. Leicester take the throw-in quickly. We've got 3 minutes added time on, guys. 3 minutes added on to this to this first half. Leicester with the throw-in now on the far side. Throwing comes in up the field to the halfway line. And Leicester with a ball forward down the far wing. And they've lost the ball again to Newcastle. Now Newcastle pick up the pieces and looking to move the ball forward quickly. Actually, I think they're just trying to see out they looked like they were going to move the ball forward quickly, but moved it forward and then back. So maybe just the fact we're almost at the end of the first half, maybe Newcastle just playing a bit more cautiously, have what we hold for until the halftime break, so to speak, because they're passing the ball around very relaxed at the back. But now they've lost it to Leicester, and Leicester looking to get forward, but lose the ball quite quickly. And now it's with the Newcastle goalkeeper. So a minute and a half left of the added on time, guys. So yeah, thanks for that, Joey. Like I say, mate, I wouldn't be reading too much into the result the other day. Joey also saying, yeah, Qatar agreed, but at last minute banned all alcohol. Yeah, that was to be expected, wasn't it? To be fair, mate, pretty shocking considering there's legal obligations involving that with regards to the sponsorships that FIFA have with beer companies and what have you. One in particular, which I just mentioned. So yeah, I'm sure we'll be hearing about that over the next few weeks and months ahead. because as you guys know, big business is not going to be satisfied no matter what grounds the country has for of not allowing it. It doesn't matter the sponsorships involved, and if FIFA are obliged to stick to those sponsorship, then the country that hosts the competition is obliged to stick to those sponsorship. I believe that FIFA are saying that they're going to pass it on, but I don't know how that's going to work because obviously the contract is between FIFA and the companies that they have contracts with. Um, but I'm sure we're going to, like I said, I'm sure we're going to see it battled out over the next few months or so. We'll probably hear a bit more about that. But yeah, there's quite a few things that went wrong with the World Cup, to be fair, and a lot of people just not discussing it. I've noticed that. I've noticed a lot of headlines coming out, but I've noticed a lot of football mainstream media and other YouTubers avoiding criticizing the World Cup, which is an absolute disgrace because you know you know we're living in a world where people are scared to say stuff in case they get punished for it, this, that, and the other. Well, what happened to free speech? What happened to free speech? As football fans and as a football community, do we not have the right to criticize the people we entrust to manage the game on our behalf within the football world? I think we do, guys. But that's obviously a debate for another day. Rich Paul Sports saying, great answer, Fanden. Re Brazil and the World Cup. You don't pull your punches. So how about Mr. Southgate leaves Trippier on the bench? So is he really an FA yes man? Speak. Yeah, he is. Yeah, in my opinion, he is an FA yes man, mate. Because there was a few players that didn't get enough game time for England in the World Cup that could have made a big impact in the competition. Um, not just Trippier. I think he didn't play Grealish, Jack Grealish. He didn't play him enough. Um, he didn't. He didn't play Marcus Rashford enough. And let's be honest, these are players that can make a difference. I mean, come on, Jack Grealish. Look at him. Look at him. You put him on the pitch, and he's only got to stand there, and he draws fouls. This is a player that will help you get forward in a game because he's short, he's quick, he's pacey, he's good on the ball, and for some reason I've never been able to pinpoint why, but other players just can't resist chucking a leg in when he comes forward with the ball and he draws fouls. Whether you like that or not in a game, it doesn't matter. Obviously, when you're talking about football, and especially national team, you do whatever it takes to get the results. And a player like Jack Grealish would have made a big difference in some of them games, drawing fouls, helping the team push forward. For me, Marcus Rashford didn't get enough time on the ball on the pitch. He showed in the time that he did play. I think it was against the US, wasn't it, where we played him, and he showed he was chomping at the bit to play. He wanted to play. He was hungry to play. And when he did play, he was scoring goals. So yeah, for me, Southgate definitely, yeah, the FA yes man, and he should have been prepared to step down. But as long as he keeps achieving what he achieves, and that is the minimum requirement of getting to knockout stages, then the FA won't sack him. They won't sack him because they're not bothered about winning the tournament. All the FA are bothered about is the image. That's all they care about, the image of the English football team, because they've been bothered about that for years. They like to do, think that they're high and mighty. When we go back to the 80s with all the trouble with the hooliganism and stuff like that, it was pretty obvious back then that the FA wanted to distance themselves from the England fans. How can you you go into these competitions as one nation? You don't distance yourself from the old fans. Yes, you can criticize your fans if they misbehave, but you can't distance yourself from them. That's wrong. This is this is a national team. You're all in it together, team, players, and country. So for me, what's wrong with England is England will never win a World Cup, in my opinion, as long as we've got these people running the FA of the English league, because they don't care about winning the World Cup. All they care about is image. And as long as England qualify for knockout stages, they're content with that. They're content because it makes them money and it also makes the image of England look better. And that's all they care about. Um, so hopefully that answers your question, mate. So for me, yeah, unfortunately, I would say that Gareth Southgate, he's a good manager. He is a good manager. I've said this before. He's a good manager, no question. But the one thing I would say to you to answer that question quite simply is, would you replace Pep Guardiola or Klopp with Southgate? Now, if you would, then he's the right manager for England. But if you wouldn't, he's not the right manager for England. And I'm not saying Klopp and Guardiola are the right managers for England. What I'm trying to say is that they are top level managers. And when you look at Gareth Southgate, is he that top shelf manager? For me, he's a shelf below. He's a shelf below. And that is why he's not the right man to manage England, because, I don't ever see him getting us to that top shelf. I don't see him having that tactical knowledge, that confidence. You look at him on the touchline and he looks a man that's nervous. He looks like a man under pressure. You don't see that from Klopp and Guardiola. I'm not saying you don't see them get animated, but they don't, even when they're under pressure, they don't look under pressure. They still look the same person as they do when they're not under pressure or when they're under pressure. Whereas Southgate, you see us go behind. He looks a nervous manager when we go behind, guys. As an England fan, I say that as an England fan, obviously. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Thanks for that, mate. Appreciated. Where was it up to? Rich Pro Sport. Appreciate that, mate. Right, where was I now? There we was. Joey's saying, Rich Pro Sport, Southgate Defo, a yes man, staying as an England manager till at least the Euros. I'm gutted. Yeah, absolutely, Joey. I agree, mate. I think Southgate is just, it's the comfort zone, in it. Like I say, for me, he's a good manager. He is a good manager. I'm not going to criticize him for that. I will criticize where it's needed, but I'll also give credit where it's needed. And for me, Southgate is a good manager, but he's not a great manager. And that's the difference. If you want to win a World Cup, you need a great manager, especially. And the reason you need a great manager for England is because we've got so many players that are, high profile, egos, stuff like that, that's, needs a really strong character to manage all these different egos within the team. So that's why I'm saying you need a great manager, not just a good manager. Yes, Southgate's a good manager. Yes, he gets us to the knockouts. Yes, he gets us results. But I don't think he's ever going to get us to that over that final line to win a trophy, because he hasn't got. There's a key thing he doesn't show for me, guys, and that's fire in the belly. It's as simple as that. There's fire in the belly. You see a manager like Guardiola, like Klopp. These are managers that show fire in the belly. That's one thing I used to love about Big Sam when he managed Bolton. He used to show fire in the belly. You'd see him get passionate on the touchline, animated, excited, angry. You'd see all these different emotions. You don't see that with Gareth Southgate, guys. And that, for me, is why England will not win any trophy under Southgate. Yes, they might come close, but I don't see. I'd love him to shock me. I'd love him to shut me up and prove me wrong, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. Joey is saying, sorry, Joey. Joey's saying World Cup over. Over now, so a lot of people will sweep things under the carpet because it's not in the spotlight now. Yeah, well said. Absolutely, mate. Well said. Couldn't have said that any better, Joey. I think you're spot on there, mate. Like I say, a lot of people got short memories, and people, obviously the World Cup's over, as you say, and a lot of people just want to, get caught up in the glory of Messi winning the World Cup, and that's what the World Cup's become more about, rather than actual national teams, and for me that spoils it because I'm not a one man player fan. I'm not like that. I've always loved football because it's a team sport. It brings people together. It brings communities together. It brings play. That's why I love football. So all this modern football of loving one player within a team, I'm not into that. I'm not into that at all. One player, as good as he is, can only do what he does if the other players around him also step up to the plate to give him good service, to give him assistance, to work as a team. Because what's the point? It'd be great having Messi banging in goals at one end of the pitch, but it's no good if his defenders can't do the job at the other end of the pitch to keep them in the game. Like I say, with respect to everybody else's opinion, they're entitled to it. I no problem with fans loving individual players. No problem with that. But this is a team sport. It's not. It's not a one man band. So yeah, for me, unfortunately, it's the celebrity world we're living in. That's the world we live in. These kids these days being taught to idolize individuals instead of using them as role models to actually achieve some success themselves. They're just being taught to idolize them, and there's a difference. There's a difference between idolizing somebody and role model. And for me, if more young fans looked at these players as role models, then we might see less kids on PlayStations and more kids out in the street playing football. And that's how we'll see the next generation of talent coming through. But unfortunately, the next generation of talent is coming through on the Xbox. So yeah, I know that might sound a bit old-fashioned, but that's the reality, guys. We may see in the future, when I'm an old man, we might see that suddenly teams start to struggle for quality players because the younger generation doesn't play football like we used to when we were kids. You don't see it as much now. When I was a kid, you'd see kids out playing in the rain playing football. You go out now while it's raining, you won't see any kids out there playing football. They're all inside playing PlayStation and Xbox. So that's the reality of the football world we live in now. Rico Sports saying anyone new here or not, hit that like button. Loving Fandom streams, talking delivery make you think you're not a yes man fan. Then people, thanks for that, mate. People that know me well will tell you I'm definitely not a yes man. I'm not a yes man at all. But yeah, thanks for that, mate. But yeah, I just, mate, that was part of what made me start Fandom. I studied other channels and I seen that a lot of other channels just blowing smoke, saying what people want to hear, just to get the clicks, to get the views, to get all the likes. And you look at my stream, I pick up likes, I pick up dislikes, I pick up good comments, I pick up bad comments because I don't believe in talking. There's enough. Let's put it this way: there's enough people talking nonsense in the world. Do we need any more? We don't. We need people that are, want to talk honestly and value, freedom of speech. And I am that kind of person. I value freedom of speech. I believe you talk to people with respect, yes, but I also believe in being honest. I'm a very strong believer in that. So no, mate, I'm definitely not on that yes man, and I'm really buzzing. I appreciate the really positive comment. Rico Sports. It's always obviously encourages me to keep doing and makes me enjoy what I'm doing when I feel that you guys appreciate what I'm trying to do. I'm not expecting anybody to ever always agree with me. That's why we love the sport. Sometimes you might think, yep, Gaz is talking sense. Sometimes you might think, what is he talking about? He's talking a load of crap. That's fine. I will always respect you for being honest and telling me that you agree or disagree. That's why I'm building Fandom. I want us to have a fan community where we can all speak honestly, where we can have honest opinions, respectful, but we can each respect each other's opinion. We might not always agree with what each other's got to say, but as football mates, we can respect each other's opinion. Like I say, we don't have to agree with it. We just have to respect that person might have a different opinion to you, and and that is for me that is how you build a really good community because people are prepared to have a bit of give and take. You know, you don't have to like what the other person's saying. You just have to accept that they have a different opinion. Respect that. You can debate it as much as you like. That's the beauty of football. That's why we love it. But yeah, for me, a lot of other particularly the football pundits on the mainstream media, we know what yes men they are with it. They like to play it safe all the time. They very rarely, they're very cautious about what criticism they give out sometimes. And I think to myself when I see that stuff, sometimes I think, come on, you don't just represent the football brand, you represent the football communities. There's loads of people around the world that watched you play football and now look at you as an ex-player to stand up for the game, to stand up for what you believe in. That's why we want to see you as a football pundit. But that's just my opinion. Guys, the game's about to restart with the second half. So before it does, I will come back to the comments in a minute. Before it does, I just want to quickly nip round the grounds and let you guys know what the other results are. So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to tell you about the games that are to be played later. I'm just going to tell you the results that have been. So earlier in the Premier League, it was Brentford 2, Tottenham 2. That finished as a dinner time kickoff. The 3 o'clock kickoffs are Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 1, Everton 1, Wolverhampton 1, Leicester City 0, Newcastle 3. As we know, we're watching that one. Southampton 0, Brighton Hove Albion 2. In the Championship, it's Watford 0, Millwall 2, Sunderland 2, and Blackburn Rovers 1. They were dinner time kickoffs. The 3 o'clock kickoffs are currently Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 1. Obviously, good for West Brom to be getting a lead. They've been struggling recently. Hull City 0, Blackpool 1, Middlesbrough 1, Wigan 0, Preston North End 1, Huddersfield 0. Rotherham 1, Stoke City 0, Sheffield United 1, Coventry City 0. There's two later kickoffs in that league as well. League One, it's currently Accrington Stanley 0, Barnsley 1, Burton Albion 3, Lincoln City 0, Cambridge United 0, Shrewsbury Town 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Peterborough 0, Cheltenham Town 0, Plymouth 0, Exeter 0, Portsmouth 0, Fleetwood Town 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Ipswich Town 2, Oxford United 0, Milton Keynes Dons 0, Forest Green 0, Port Vale 1, Morecambe 0, and Wycombe Wanderers 1, Bristol Rovers 1. In League Two, it's currently Wimbledon 0, Newport County 0, Carlisle United 1, Bradford City 0, Crawley Town 0, Sutton United 0, Gillingham 0, Colchester United 1, Harrogate Town 1, Grimsby Town 1, Mansfield Town 0, Northampton Town 0, Rochdale 0, Hartlepool United 1, Salford City 1, Barrow 0, Stockport County 0, Crewe Alexander 0, and Swindon Town 1, Walsall 1, Tranmere Rovers 1, and Doncaster 0. That's it around the grounds, guys. We have got no Scottish games kicking off today, so there's nothing to report in the Scottish League. They played bizarrely. They played on Christmas Eve. The Scottish clubs, which I found rather unusual. It would explain why the Scottish League is struggling if they are not playing their games when fans want to see it, because it seems a bit madness to play league games on Christmas Eve when so many people are running around doing last minute shopping. It must affect attendance to some degree. So, guys, just seeing Newcastle in possession inside the net of Leicester box with a shot coming in, but it's gone high and wide. So the game has restarted, as you can gather, guys. Big shout out to Stevie. Thank you very much for the drink, mate. Really appreciated. Thanks for the great work you do behind the scenes. Absolutely. Couldn't manage without you, mate. So thank you very much for that. Now, where was I up to with the comments? I hate these comments. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So 48 minutes gone, guys, and it's still 3-0 to 3-0 to Newcastle. Leicester in possession with a long ball forward up the field, but now we've got a stoppage for a foul on Newcastle player. I think just the players coming together, maybe stood on his foot or something. Rich Post Sports question: did Harry Kane get an easy ride compared to Saka? Rashford and Sancho follow his penalty. Following his penalty mistake vs France in England. Mate, in answer to your question, Harry Kane is a great player, but yes, whenever he plays for England, he always gets well, maybe not from the fans, but he always gets a bit of um, an easy ride with regards to Southgate. It's pretty obvious that Harry Kane is one of Southgate's favourite players. He very rarely drops him. Um, and like I say, for me, I would have preferred to have Marcus Rashford on the pitch rather than Harry Kane. I've nothing against Harry Kane. Harry Kane, he is a great player, but I'm a very strong believer that just because a player is a great player, you don't always get the best out of them by just playing them consistently. Sometimes it's needed. This is an old age argument. Sometimes it's needed that players need consistent games to find their best form. We all know that. As football fans, you guys, I'm sure, know that players do need a certain amount of games to show their best quality and their best talent. So that is very true. But at the same time, it's also necessary that sometimes when a player's been getting a run of games and playing and not necessarily scoring as many goals, sometimes it can also do good to drop a striker to make them remind them that you've got other good strikers chomping at the bit, wanting to come on and get results. And contribute to the team. So for me, if you want a competitive team, you don't rely on one striker. You don't make one striker feel like he's better and above the rest of them. For me, you compete to create competition within the squad. You change things around, and Harry Kane didn't score that much in this World Cup, and that was for me a perfect excuse to drop him and stick Rashford in. But like I say, you're very rarely going to see Harry Kane get dropped because well, you guys might think differently. I don't know. If you do, let me know in the chat. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. But for me, Harry Kane is Gareth Southgate's favourite player. If not favourite, definitely one of the favourites. And that is why you see him play for England so much. So yeah, for me, he should have been used a bit more sparingly. So yeah, I would say he probably did get an easy ride. Saka is a great talent, absolutely great talent, and I think he got plenty of game time. But like I say, the team seemed to be set up a bit more to suit Harry Kane and not to suit necessarily other players. Which is where for me Southgate is a little bit focused on. Like I say, making it suit certain players and making other players fit in to suit certain players type thing, if you get my meaning. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. So 52 minutes in, guys, and it's still 3-0 Newcastle. We got we got a free kick for Newcastle from the goalkeeper. Long ball up the field, and it's on the far side, and it's now gone out for a throw-in. Going to Newcastle. Guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button, drop your comments in. I will come back to the comments in a minute. Just trying to keep an eye on this game so I can keep you guys up to date and not miss too much. Also, guys, we'll be doing another stream today as well. Going to try and double it up to see if we can let more fans find us. So we'll be doing another stream after this one. So it'd be great if you want to drop in on that one, guys. Um, Leicester in possession now, deep inside their own half, looking to create some space to move up the field. And soon as they've lost it before they've even got out of Newcastle's half, but Newcastle now lost it themselves. Leicester now looking to break on the counter attack. Long ball, sorry, cross forward to this near side, but cut out by Newcastle, and now they pick up possession. And now we've got a stoppage for a foul on Trippier. Just a shirt pull, being pulled back by his shirt. So Newcastle with a free kick just inside the Leicester half, just inside on roughly on the halfway line, but just inside the halfway line, inside Leicester's part of the pitch. If you get my meaning. So ball kicked forward. Headed by Newcastle, kept in possession, out to the far side. Cross, switch the play to this near side. And now comes an in-swinger into the box, cleared by Leicester. And now Leicester clear it as far as the halfway line, and it's gone out for a throw-in. Pitch ball sport. I've heard this before, but do you agree? Do you agree? Are England players too soft, honest to win trophies? Yeah, maybe that's a good question. Actually, that I've never really thought of it. I think there is an element of some players being a bit too soft or being treated a bit too soft, but that. I wouldn't say that's just specific to England. To be fair, mate. There's plenty of other nations where that could be that question could be asked if we're honest. I know there's plenty of nations where it isn't appropriate to ask that question, but when it comes to the countries with more talented players like to Spain, Italy, these kind of countries, France even, and Germany, almost all especially Western European countries could have that question asked. I'll come back to that in a minute, mate. We just got a corner for Newcastle. I think it's for Newcastle. Yeah, corner for Newcastle here. Corner coming in from the far side. Corner comes in. It's an outswinger. And cleared by Leicester. A bit of head tennis going on here, but Newcastle pick it up and then lose it to a Leicester defender. Leicester defender managed to nick it back and now look to move the ball up the field, but lose it quite quickly before they make it to the halfway line. And now Newcastle switch the play out to the far side looking for space. And they tried to get forward, but now lost it to Leicester's defence, who pick it up at the back. Leicester keep a long ball up the field. Obviously, both teams looking to create some space to try and get some attacking momentum going. And now we've got a stoppage. Oh no, we haven't. The referee has waved play on, but thought we was going to have a stoppage then for a tackle on a Newcastle player, but it looks like the referees let it go for clumsiness. So Leicester in possession on the halfway line, looking to create something going forward in the Newcastle half. But yeah, with regards to that question, mate, I think you make a great point. I think there probably could be an element of that accused at some of the England players. But like I say, for me, I think you could also label that question at a few other international teams just as fairly. So you might be onto something there, mate. You might be onto something. Maybe that is a contributing factor why England struggle to actually win a trophy. Maybe they are treated a bit too soft. But that's down to the FA, isn't it? Because when we've had managers with that have come down a bit heavier, or should I say, that have tried to toughen up on the players. The FA have not liked it. They want, they want an England team that's all happy and smiles. As long as they get that, they're more bothered half the time about promotion than winning tournaments. You don't have to look at their mannerisms and how they conduct themselves and how like things. I suppose in answer to your question, there is signs of that because we did. I did read before the tournament started. Um, I did read before the tournament started that apparently the FA had sent loads of extra bits over for the England players to make them feel more at home in their bedrooms, stuff like that. So yeah, I guess there is some accuracy to that question. I'm curious though, Rico Sport. Um, Obviously, I did a lot of streams through the World Cup, and I know you did pop in on one or two of them. But if you have all these World Cup questions, why didn't you drop in on the World Cup and ask some of these questions? Seems a bit unusual to wait for the start of the league season to come firing so many World Cup questions, mate. It's a bit like saying I'm not bothered. I'm always happy to answer any of you guys' questions. I know certain other channels that don't even like you asking one question about the World Cup if they're doing league football or something different. I'm happy for you guys to talk about whatever you feel you like. But I just noticed a lot of questions coming from you about the World Cup, mate. So I'm just curious why so many questions. At the first stream, the first proper stream for the restart of the league campaign. So just curious about that, mate. Um, Leicester in possession now inside the Newcastle half. That was close. Just a challenge coming for a Newcastle player, and it's gone out for a corner. But before it did look like it might actually creep just with inside the post for Leicester. But no, Newcastle getting lucky there, and it's gone past the pitch. Yeah, he's tried to kick it. One of the Newcastle players tried to kick it away to clear it, and it's rebounded off the shin of another Newcastle player, which has made it go out for a corner. But like I say, it was narrowly, marginally, just past the goalpost. If that had crept in, it would have been an own goal. So I'm sure a bit of relief there from Newcastle players. So Leicester now pick up. Sorry, no, Newcastle goalkeeper picks up possession and now looking to get Newcastle on the move down the far side. Long ball up the field onto a halfway line, and Newcastle lose it, and now Leicester pick up the possession on this near side. They're probing, but you can see that Newcastle got plenty of men back. They've got so many. They're so compact when they're without the ball, and when they've got the ball, they're very quick to move forward. It's so usual watching Newcastle play this way. I've watched Newcastle loads of times in years gone by, and I've never seen them look so tactically together. If you understand what I mean, they look a team. And that I've got to be honest, guys. In years gone by, it's been very difficult to say that about Newcastle that they've not necessarily looked like a team. I'm just gonna share that to you guys. I keep forgetting to do this. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Just so you can see the team formations. I meant to share that at the start of the stream. My bad. Um, I'll get things. It's just like I say, just sometimes do forget. With there's so much to remember before I actually go live every day, promoting the video live stream, setting it up. There's just a lot of things I have to do before I actually come on live, leading up to it. So sometimes I don't always remember that to share the team formations with you guys. So my apologies for that. Um, think that might share it better. There you go, guys. That's a bit better, isn't it? So yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, please do hit that like button and drop your comments. It'd be great to hear from you. And also consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. We are a pretty new channel. We have been about, a couple of years, but in respect of the actual YouTube community, we are quite a new channel. So, like I say, it'd be great to see if you guys could hit that subscribe button and give us a chance. See if you like what the channel's about. Leicester in possession now. They're probing. They're getting a lot more possession in this second half, guys, but not being very productive with it. So should I say? Not really getting. Not really having as much success as you would think they would have with it. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Beach Post Sport, looking at the next decade, how good is it for the usual suspects to be pushing to win the Premier League? What could change things? Just money, like Newcastle. Well, obviously, there's a lot of question marks in the Premier League at the minute, mate. With regards to the teams that what you're meaning that normally up there. Um, I think we will at the minute. I think obviously for the next two seasons, things s- stay maybe similar to what we've been used to. Maybe Chelsea might push up and improve. They might actually compete better at the top. Um, it's going to take a season or two for their new owners to get their feet under the table, so to speak, and create, put their own identity on Chelsea, if you like. How they're going to go about things. Obviously, we're all very aware about how Roman Abramovich went about things as the Chelsea owner, but we'll have to see how it plays out with the new Chelsea owners. Um, so that's going to be interesting. But no, things could change very soon, mate. In the next, I would say, the next 2, 3, 4 seasons, we might see things change slightly because um, I can't see United being in turmoil forever. I think eventually something's going to happen with them, so they might get new owners, and if they do, that could dramatically change their approach. Obviously, we've got Newcastle gradually improving under their new ownership. There's also talk about Liverpool getting new owners. We've also seen Arsenal are doing much better than they've done for quite a while. So for me, I think we could, the next couple of seasons, we could see the Premier League become more competitive than we've ever seen it. To be fair, from the days when the Premier League started, which was back in the early '90s. So yeah, mate, we could actually see quite a few changes over the next couple of seasons with regards to the Premier League, with so many teams potentially getting new investors. Like I say, Newcastle new owners, they're improving. Um, Obviously, Man City, they could have a dip. They could have a dip because what happens when Pep Guardiola finally decides to leave? It's going to be struggle. It's going to be a struggle to replace him. Newcastle with an opportunity now, guys, just inside the Leicester box, but it's blocked by a Leicester defender, and I think he's gone out on the far side for a throw-in. So yeah, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, like I was saying, no, sorry, it's a corner. It's gone out for a corner. Yeah, like I was saying, but Newcastle, Man City could struggle if Pep Guardiola leaves, so they could drop off a bit and struggle because who's gonna be good enough to replace Pep Guardiola? Same situation at Liverpool, but obviously with them, it could be different because there's talk of them being took over by new owners, so that could change things. Leicester, obviously, they can always compete because they've got ambitious owners as well. Some of the other Premier League clubs um, have got ambitious owners as well. So we could see some of the, maybe one of the or two of the unexpected teams to start climbing the ladder and competing. if they do business correctly in the transfer window and invest in the right place. So yeah, mate. Like I say, I think this season and next season we'll see. Well, we're already seeing change this season, aren't we? Because who'd have thought that Christmas time as it is now, who'd have thought that it would be Arsenal and Newcastle sitting, top of the league? Not many people would have said that at the start of the season. So um, I think it's exciting times for the next couple of seasons. To be fair, mate, for the Premier League. Obviously, we'll see the usual suspects up there, like to Man City and Liverpool. You'd expect to see putting a challenge together. I think Liverpool having a bit of disappointing season this season, but with them, that they're always a team that have a bit of a yo-yo time, if you get what I mean, and they can have one really awesome season, and then the next season they can just drop off that little bit. And because they're always a team that play on such a high at such a high level, just that little bit of a lack of composure or lack of motivation from players can make all the difference between winning and losing games. As we've seen on a couple of occasions with Liverpool, when they're at their best, nobody can live with them. But when they just have that little bit of dropping concentration and focus, that's when teams can get at them. So yeah, like I say, there's plenty to discuss or plenty to look at positively wise with the Premier League going forward in the next couple of seasons, and we could see uh, quite a few interesting title races. Because let's be honest, guys, this one this season is definitely not decided yet, and at the minute. Arsenal looking the stronger, Newcastle right up there behind them, but you can never write Man City off. Um, So yeah, like I say, plenty to consider in regard to the rest of the and sorry, the future next couple of seasons ahead for the Premier League. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Thanks for that, Rich Post Sports. Really appreciate it, mate. Great question that. Rich Post Sport, Fanden, you don't seem to have a racist bone in you, but does some of the mainstream media in your opinion? Ooh, um, I, I, d- I don't. I wouldn't like to comment, to be fair, mate, on the mainstream media because that might be getting me into realms of stuff that I don't need to get in. Obviously, with wanting to build the channel to be a success, so I won't comment on that. To be fair, but no, with regards to myself, people that are racist, mate, are small-minded people. We might all look different, but we've all got red blood. We've all got flesh. We're all the same. The only difference is we're raised in different parts of the world, and that's the only difference. There's too much. I'm not gonna answer that question for too long, but I'll put it to you as simple as this, mate. Let's just put it this way: um, big businesses and certain societies have used racism to divide and conquer the people, whether it's been in a good way or a bad way. Um, in over hundreds of years, for hundreds of years, they've used it against us with certain things being introduced or things that have happened that have divided cultures and how people are looked at and how people are treated based on their ethnicity and stuff like that. And it's been a great way for certain organizations to keep power and control and use that to their own advantage. So it's about time for me that the people wake up and see that. And now we're seeing it being used the opposite way to how it's been used in history. If you look at it in history, racism has always been used as what you might in a negative way to divide and conquer. Now it's being used in a more positive way, but it's still being used to divide and conquer. So for me, the sooner people that stop looking at the people's color of people's skin and people's culture or religion, stuff like that, and discriminating against people just because of they might have a different type of belief or a different color skin. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. There's no time. The world's you know we're a long time dead. The maximum lifespan of a human being is about 100 years. Some human beings are lucky enough to live longer than that. Um, so why waste life having prejudice? Why waste life, what is so precious, being discriminative or racist? People that do that are sad. They're sad, they're small-minded, bigots, and I've got no time for people like that. So for me, I don't believe in being racist, discriminative. Yes, I've got I probably have maybe a little bit of prejudice, not towards people, but in maybe in some of my beliefs. Maybe my prejudice probably comes more, if I have any prejudice, it's probably more about class systems, class structure. I'm not interested in that. That kind of stuff is an absolute disgrace, and I can't believe in the modern day that we still have class structures. Yes, certain governments would argue that they don't exist, but the reality is they do. And as long as we have class structures, we're always going to have division. As long as we have people being racist, we're always going to have division. And for me, anything that causes division, I'm dead against it. I'm dead against it. People need to realize that the human race is stronger together than it is divided. And the sooner that people realize that, then the sooner we'll stop having stupid wars all around the world, what just kills innocent people that didn't even start it. And that's the reality. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. Thanks, it's a great question. I'm trying to keep it calm because I don't really want to get drawn into politics. Because when you start talking about racism, divide, and division and stuff like that, it's very easy to get it to start talking politically. So I prefer to try and avoid that as much as possible, mate. Just keep the channel in good standing, so to speak. But no, mate, I'm no time for people that are racist. And if I've ever see anybody come on here being racist, but you believe me, you'll see me react to it rather quickly. I've got no time for anybody that's prejudiced like that. Life's too short. It's as simple as that. Life's too short. Live life, love people, enjoy life, live it to the max. Be respectful. If you want respect, it's simple. If you want respect, give it. Maybe that answers the question another way. I don't know, but if for me, that's how I try to live life. If you want respect, you give it. Obviously, not everybody thinks like that, and I can't always give respect because when I come across people that don't give respect, then I'll equally normally respond to that, especially if they're being assholes, so to speak. But no, I was always raised. If you want respect, give it, and if you give respect, then you should get it coming back in some form or another. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, mate. But yeah, like I said, great question. Sorry, I'm not going into it any more than that. Like I say, just want to try and avoid getting into too much political conversation. I know your question's not political, mate, but you know what I mean. It's very easy for it to become political with stuff like that. Rico Sport, I'm an Arsenal and Jamaica fan, but I have a great and growing respect for Eddie Howe. What's his secret? Who are who are among the best three managers you've seen? I don't know. That's a tough question, that, mate. With regards to Eddie Howe, yeah, I don't know what his secret is, mate. I think, like I was saying earlier in the stream, I think the thing with Eddie Howe is he's good tactically. He's a good man. He's definitely a good man management. He must be a good man manager because how do you get these kind of players to get players to play so well as a team? But the questions will come for Eddie Howe. He's shown that he's definitely a top manager. How good he is, whether he's a good manager or a great manager, only time will tell. Because there's one, we're seeing that now with, what you might call good players. He can get results. He can get the best out of them. But the question is, when he comes to manage players that have got egos, a more difficult dressing room with bigger name players, that's when the questions are going to be asked. Can he deal with that? Because we've seen so many managers struggle to deal with that, and we only have to highlight what's going on at United with Ten Hag and Ronaldo this season. That some managers really struggle to deal with big players that have got big egos. So for me, Eddie Howe is a great manager, fantastic, and I hope he keeps doing well. But for me, you just gotta you've got to chuck that one in there that at some point he's going to have to learn how to deal with big name players. And will he have will he have what it takes to do that? We've already seen he can get the best out of the rest of the team. But it's like I say, the problem would come is if you could suddenly, let's just say Newcastle suddenly went and signed a top player like a Kevin De Bruyne or an Mbappe type player or that kind of player, high profile player that comes with ego and baggage and a lot of press attention. That is when things, that's when it's going to hit a new level for Eddie Howe, and that's when we'll really find out how great of a manager he is. Because at the minute he's shown that with good players he can definitely get results and do really well. But I think all managers that get to this level, what Eddie Howe is showing now, have to face that problem. They have to face that problem. Can they deal with players that come with big egos and attitude? So yeah, but yeah, absolutely, mate. Well aware that you're a big Arsenal fan and Jamaica fan. But with regards to Eddie Howe, yeah, he's definitely great. I'm just going to quickly jump to that question. Kieran Williams, how's it going, mate? Great to see you in the stream. Thank you very much for dropping in. The score is currently Leicester 0, Newcastle 3, 80 minutes gone. Apologies if I've not been keeping you guys up to date enough in this one. I've been obviously answering some of the questions in the chat. It's obviously always, I'm still learning how to get the balance right between doing match watch alongs and giving you guys updates on the game and also interacting with you guys in the chat as well, because I want you guys to feel part of the channel. And it's important. That's the big important part of the project, that you guys feel part of the channel. And one way I can make you guys or help you guys feel part of the channel is obviously try to answer as much of your comments as possible to help you guys feel involved. So yeah. So yeah. So apologies about that, mate. But yeah, it's currently, like I say, Leicester 0, Newcastle 3. In the second half, Leicester have had a lot more possession, but been able to do very little with it, guys. Newcastle have let's be honest, done a pretty get your words out, Gareth. Newcastle have done a bit of a job on Leicester here. They've come with a game plan and they've executed it perfectly. They've got themselves in front, and this second half they've let Leicester have plenty of possession on the ball. But their confidence that is clearly running through the team is very evident because they've never looked in panic at any time. Leicester have on the few occasions that Leicester have got forward. So yeah. Rico Sport is obviously, sorry, just going back to your question about the three managers. I'd have to maybe ask. I'd prefer if you asked me that one another time, mate, because actually I'd like to think about that one a bit, because I've seen quite a few managers come and go over the years, and obviously we've only got just short of 10 minutes to go on this game, and I will be trying to jump off quite quickly after this game, because we're going to be doing another stream after it. So yeah, sorry about that, mate. Maybe I'll try and have a think about it, maybe for the next stream or when you drop in the future, mate. But yeah, it's a great question, to be fair. So thanks for that, Richo Sports, and also thanks to Kieran Williams for dropping in. Always appreciating, and always a pleasure to see new fans in the chat. Like I said, as I told you earlier, 3-0. Joey answering. Sorry about that, guys. Joey, thanks for that, mate. Like I say, probably me just getting a bit distracted answering the questions, so I apologise for that, guys. Kieran Williams, someone's getting the P45 tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I think this result definitely going to put Brendan Rodgers under real pressure now. Big questions going to be asked about him. Um, I don't not sure if he's going to get his P45, but yeah, that's definitely a good one, that mate. Um, I think maybe if he was going to, the reason I say I don't think he'd get his P45 just after this game because um, I think if they were going to make the change, it would have been perfect to do it, won it during the World Cup break. So I think maybe Brendan Rodgers maybe got another game or two before they'll make a decision. But yeah, he's definitely done himself no favors in this one, and like like Kieran Williams is saying, we definitely could see that Brendan Rodgers could come under immense pressure now after this game, and it could be down to him. It could be a must-win game in the next one if he wants to keep his job. But yeah, I can't see them sacking him just after this result because that'd be a bit crazy when they've just had the World Cup to make the change if they wanted to make a managerial change. So yeah. But yeah, well said, Kieran. I think you're right with respect to the pressure he's put himself under. But I think he's going to get at least one more game before they make a decision on that one, mate. Uh, Joey's saying you mean for Leicester manager? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that, Joey. Yeah, Kieran Williams agreeing that is what he's meaning. I think you're right, mate. I think, like I say, I think he's definitely a manager that's under pressure and has now just piled that pressure on himself in bucket loads. So 85 minutes gone, guys. Um, Still Leicester 3-0 down. They're having plenty of possession, but they're just doing absolutely nothing with it as far as getting forward is concerned. I'm just going to give you a quick update on some of the other results, guys. The 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League, it's currently Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 3, Everton 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. So Wolves have pulled that back to a draw up to now. Obviously 3-0 down for Leicester v Newcastle. Southampton 1, Brighton Hove Albion 3. In the Championship, it's currently Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 2. So West Brom finally getting themselves back on the back to winning ways. Hull City have levelled with Blackpool, so it's 1-1 there. Middlesbrough 3, Wigan 1, Preston North End 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Rotherham United 2, Stoke City 2, and Sheffield United 3, Coventry City 1. So that's just a quick update on the Premier League and Championship. I will read the League One and League Two game results out shortly, guys. But yeah, Leicester just had an opportunity saved by the keeper. Cross came in from from the far side, cleared by Newcastle initially, but only as far as the Leicester players on the edge of the box. And one of the Leicester players took a shot, but it was directly at the keeper. Leicester just had another shot on another attempt on goal, but blocked by the Newcastle defence. Newcastle looks so confident. Leicester with another opportunity, rebounds off the goalkeeper, and it hits the post, and the goalkeeper just managing to get that ball under control. Richo Sports, it was exciting to have a unique World Cup mid-season. It's still the pinnacle highest trophy in football, or is it? No, I think it is. But I think you're right there, mate. I think it is, and it was. It was nice to have a World Cup. It was different. So as an experience, yeah, it was different. But after experiencing it, I think it's better to put it back in the summer because there's room and there's time there for the preparation games. And let's be honest, I've nothing against any country hosting the competition, but it does seem a bit madness to have of a football competition in a desert country. So yeah, for me that is absolutely shocking that FIFA made that decision, and we know that they made that decision based on money and profit. But yeah, No, I think the World Cup is still the greatest competition to win, but unfortunately, FIFA are damaging it, mate, and that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with that, but it's maybe getting if people are looking on it as a lesser competition than it used to be, it's because of what FIFA's conduct. It's because of the way they're managing it. It's because of their poor management skills, and as we've seen, their agenda. So yeah, I think they think they're like I think they think they're like the Catholic Church, like they should have territory of their own where they're untouchable. Because the way they conduct themselves sometimes is an absolute disgrace, mate. There's an interesting documentary about FIFA. You might want it if you're still there, mate. There's an interesting documentary about FIFA, and I think it's on Netflix. Go and check it out, mate. It's definitely well worth a watch. It's basically telling you about what's wrong, what's going wrong in FIFA, and it's definitely worth a watch, mate. So I'd recommend you have a watch of that. Might open your mind or open your eyes a bit more to some of the stuff that is not very well publicized. Because obviously, that a lot, as we know, a lot of the mainstream media uh, avoid reporting on anything that might be classed as controversial, so to speak. But yeah, go and check that out, mate, if you get a chance. You might like it. I enjoyed it. It was a really interesting documentary. It was shocking, but very interesting. So yeah, thanks for that, Rich Post Sports. Like I say, for me, um, I think the World Cup is still a great competition. It's up there. I'm not sure if it is the best. I think it is. Still, most fans do class it as the best, but like I say, for me, it's been damaged by the way FIFA are doing things and way they're conducting themselves, mate, which is unfortunate. And if they continue that way, it's only going to damage the competition more, innit? Joey's saying, "All right, hot, really. Team keeping up with Leicester. All right. All right. Sorry, not really been keeping up with Leicester. Um, yeah, sorry, Joey, if that's reference to me. Guys, we've got 3 minutes added time on being added, 3 minutes added on extra time. So yeah, um, there's not much Leicester could do about it now, is there? Newcastle just had another opportunity, saved, blocked by the goalkeeper caught out of position. Luckily, the Leicester defender got back to get his knee in the way to block that. So yeah, uh, Newcastle could have had a fourth there if they've had a bit better angle to get that shot off. We're just seeing a substitution for Newcastle. It's Anderson coming on and Longstaff coming off. Joey's saying, "Are you a Leicester fan, Kieran?" Yeah, that's a good question, that mate. Well, cheers for that, Joey. I should have asked that myself, actually. Thanks for that, mate. Um, Rico Sport, Kieran, do we need such knee jerk reactions? It's Leicester City's fan first game back. What's happened to patience? Right, I'm presuming there may be a comment I've either missed or that Stevie might have removed because it was inappropriate. Because I'm getting the impression you guys are reacting to something there. So yeah, Kieran, if you've put a comment, if any of you guys have put a comment that had bad language in it, or then chances are Stevie might have removed it in the background because we are trying to work towards the targets required for YouTube to approve the channel. So we're trying to keep it clean, guys. So if you are wanting to show passion, that's fine. Got no problem with that. But try to avoid using any excessive bad language if you can. I'm not personally bothered about bad language. I'm not, but YouTube do take the funny with some of it. So we try to keep it as clean as possible. So yeah. So I'm presuming Kieran's saying no. He's a Man United fan. All right, mate. So How are you feeling about Ronaldo leaving then, mate? Obviously, a lot been that kind of lot happened with that, but it's kind of disappeared out the spotlight on it because of what's going on. Um, Obviously, with the World Cup starting and it happening just before. But yeah, if you're still there, Kieran, it'd be great to know your thoughts on how you feel about Ronaldo leaving the club and how it came about. But yeah, thanks for that, mate. Um, Kieran, Kieran Williams, they are 3 points above relegation. Yeah, Leicester. Yeah, Leicester really, really struggling at the minute. So disappointing for Leicester. And like I said, I think that result's just put Brendan Rodgers under massive pressure. Um, Joey's saying, "Gosh, didn't realise they was doing that badly." No, to be fair, mate, until I started the stream, I didn't realise myself today until I actually looked at the league and everything. I knew they were struggling. I just didn't realise how badly they were struggling. So yeah, I think we can see Brendan Rodgers definitely a manager under massive pressure. And hats off to Eddie Howe. He's doing a fantastic job at Newcastle, and it's great to see the Newcastle fans loving every minute of it. You know, I'm not. I had no preference in this game, but I've got to be honest, guys. I am happy to see Newcastle fans enjoying their football. I've seen a lot of years of Newcastle fans being unhappy, feeling dejected, feeling disconnected with their club, feeling like they've just been treated like customers. And obviously, I'm very much about fan community and stuff like that. So I'm absolutely buzzing to see the Newcastle fans having something to shout about. I might change my opinion in the next few seasons as they build their team and improve with the rich owners that they've got. But for the moment, I am buzzing to see the Newcastle fans after years and years of depressive football and depressive results having something to shout about. Kieran Williams is saying, yeah, that they need a change for sure. Yeah, I'm presuming you're talking about Leicester there, mate. Right, guys. So, sorry, I'm not being rude. If you got any final comments, please do drop them in because just going to quickly read through these results and then call it a day. Because, like I say, I want to get on the next stream. Going to do a double edit today. Obviously, in the dinner time kickoff, it finished Brentford 2, Tottenham 2. Crystal Palace finished with a 3 o'clock kickoff. These are the 3 o'clock kickoffs now all finished. Crystal Palace 0, Fulham 3, Everton 1, Wolverhampton 2, Leicester City 0, Newcastle 3, Southampton 1, Brighton Hove Albion 3. We've got Aston Villa, Liverpool kickoff at 5:30, and Arsenal and West Ham kickoff 8 o'clock. Watford in the Championship, Watford finished Watford 0, Millwall 2, Sunderland 2, Blackburn Rovers 1, Bristol City 0, West Bromwich Albion 2, Hull City 1, Blackpool 1, Middlesbrough 4, Wigan Athletic 1, Preston North End 1, Huddersfield Town 2. That game's still playing. Rotherham United 2, Stoke City 2. That game is also still playing. And Sheffield United 3, Coventry City 1, also still playing. The game we're going to be doing later, guys, or hopefully, is Cardiff City v QPR in the Championship. That's a 5:15 kickoff. In the League One, it's currently Accrington Stanley 1, Barnsley 1, and that is still playing. Burton Albion, Lincoln City 3. Burton Albion 3, Lincoln City 0, and that's a full-time result. Cambridge United 2, Shrewsbury Town 1, that's still playing. Charlton Athletic 1, Peterborough United 1. That's a full-time result. Cheltenham Town 0, Plymouth 1. That game is still playing. Exeter City 0, Portsmouth 0, full-time. Fleetwood Town 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. That game's still playing. Ipswich Town 3, Oxford United 0. Game still playing. Milton Keynes Dons 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, full-time. And Port Vale 1, Morecambe 0. Still playing, and Wickham Wanderers 2, Bristol Rovers 1, also still playing. So there you go, guys. Obviously, as League Two games as well. Wimbledon 1, Newport 1, Carlisle United 1, Bradford City 0, Crawley Town 1, Sutton United 2, Gillingham 0, Colchester United 1. That game's still playing. Harrogate Town 3, Grimsby 2, Mansfield 1, Northampton Town 1, and Rochdale 1, Hartlepool United 2. Game still playing on this one. Salford City 1, Barrow 1, still playing. Stockport County 2, Crawley Town 0, still playing. Swindon Town 1, Walsall 2. That's game still playing. And full-time score is Tranmere Rovers 3, Doncaster 0. So there you go, guys. That's all around the grounds. Just going to quickly read out the final comments and then I'll jump on the other stream. Kieran is saying, I think Ronnie had to go walk off not once but twice, and to you it's off disrespect. Sorry. To Yob, it's of disrespecting the gaffer had to go. Right, fair enough, mate. Yeah, fair enough. That's I'm not going to argue with that, mate. Entitled to your opinion. Sorry, I'm not being rude, mate. I'm just I want to get off because I've got another stream I want to get onto, which I've got less than half an hour to do it to get ready for it. Kieran Williams also saying, I hope we get Gakpo. Right, sorry. Gakpo or Victor Valavara from Juventus. Right, fair enough, mate. Are you talking? I thought you said you were a United fan. Didn't you say you're a United fan? I'm confused there with what you meaning, mate. Yeah, is that referring to United? Because I hope we get a. Right, so I'm sorry. I'm presuming you might be talking about transfers there. But yeah, sorry, mate. Like I say, if you want to drop in on the next stream, I've got to jump off to get ready for the next stream, mate. But it'd be great to carry on the conversation and understand what you mean in there. So sorry, Kieran Williamson, if I'm not following your comments there, mate. My apologies. But like I say, I literally got less than half an hour to jump off this stream and get on the next one. So maybe you could jump on the start of the next stream and just explain better to me what you mean if you're not too busy, mate. So yeah, thanks for all you guys that have dropped in today. It's been a good stream this afternoon and really appreciate the support. It's been great to have you guys involved. Some great questions today as well, and great to see you guys also mixing it up in the chat amongst yourselves. So thank you very much for that, and always great to have a positive chat, even if it's not as active as we hope it will be in the future. So that's it for me for now, guys, but I will be back very shortly with a second stream. Hopefully you join me on that one. And if you're not and you're busy, that's fine. Thank you very much for your support today anyway. And like I say, if I don't see you for the rest of today, take care, guys. All the best, and speak to you soon. Bye for now.